Now here's a box we haven't seen on the channel before. Kahr Arms, an American company. They still exist. That's what's coming up next on GBGuns. So as we open our box, we've got a foam protector here and a nice packet of information. The owner's manual is printed on nice thick paper with limited but very clear photos. And I know this because I actually had to open it up. This gun is fit together so beautifully tight that I wanted to make sure I was taking it apart right, because it was kind of difficult at first. Foam out of the way. Here's our gun, the CW9 single stack 9mm. Also in the case, we do have a trigger lock. That's it. I'll get the box out of the way and let's take a look at this beautiful gun. So we've already shown clear. This thing is pretty. I have to admit, when I first heard about the carbon fiber coloring on the frame, I was concerned that either it was going to look cheap or it just wasn't going to look right, and I was just kind of eh. But I have an aversion to bad guy guns. Now I'm sure some of you will laugh, and you can save those angry comments for the end. I actually asked for angry comments. But I once had a shirt catch up on a Glock 19 when I was carrying it. And the reaction I got from people was less than welcoming, let's say. And let's think about it. The Glock is used by police and thugs. Other guns aren't. And I swapped to stainless slide after that. Fortunately, never had an issue with my gun showing again. But I do think that a cleaner gentleman's or gentlewoman's looking gun, there's something to it, and this definitely looks clean. So, shown clear, get this magazine out of there, definitely ejects. Start at the front, slide to frame, next to no movement. Very nice machining. Now this carbon fiber print, obviously the frame is not made out of carbon fiber, but tucks into all the little crevices. Very nicely done. The trigger guard, you might notice, has this kind of odd shape. What I noticed is it sort of scoops your finger onto the trigger. You've got a large area to get in there, and then right where it needs to, it brings your finger to the trigger. It's a metal trigger. We've got checkering on the front strap. Magazine release, easy to get to. Slide stopper release, easy to get to. Slide serrations only on the rear. I do like them up front for doing press checks, but with enough squeezing, you obviously don't need it. Some gentle stippling on the sides, because if you ever think about it, you're never really gripping the gun on the sides anyways. More aggressive on the back. Rear slide to frame fit. Pretty dang tight. Does it look like metal sights? That 3-dot. Right side of the gun, sorry left-handers, nothing over here, but this does keep a slim profile for the majority of people who are right-handed and want this as a carry gun, which is obviously what it was designed for. Now this is a double action striker fire. Pretty smooth. It's long, as a defensive trigger should, but it just rolls. Long reset, and just rolls right into there. I bet you could still get pretty quick with this with how smooth it is, and the trigger shoe is really comfy. Next, we'll get this disassembled and take a look inside the gun. So to disassemble, we've got to move the slide rearward a bit to line up the window with the takedown lever, very much like a 1911. To help you with that, there is that mark on the frame and mark on the slide. Speaking of, one thing I did notice is the frame is a little bit wider than the slide up front and then tapers back. You can see the lip there a little better, and then it gets all flush. Not sure why that is, but still a good looking gun. It was back to disassembling. Get this pulled to about there and knock that pin from the other side. I'm going to have to go off camera and back on camera after popping that out. Pull it the rest of the way. Let the slide go forward. Pull the trigger and the slide pops off. So looking in our frame, looks like all plastic rails aside from a little reinforcement in the back. Gosh, sure is simple in there. Wonder if that's part of the magic of how they have such a smooth trigger. Non-captured recoil spring. As much as some people don't like these, I see the positive in these as it's easy to replace the spring when one wears out. Get our barrel out. Some of the factory grease off. Wow, look at that polish. That is beautiful. Nice long ramp and definitely a bit of hood there to make sure the round slides in. Do have a wee bit of a crowning on the end of the barrel. And looking inside our slide, nice and cleanly machined. Some tool marks, but in spots where it doesn't matter. So that's the Kahr CW9. I'm curious. I've shot a lot of single stack 9s, had not yet shot a Kahr. From what I've heard and from my times teaching, folks who owned Kahrs were die-hard Kahr fans. I never met anyone that was wishy-washy. They either loved them or had never shot one before. I've never shot one before. We'll soon find out if we love them. Thanks for watching GBGuns. And if you watch this far, you appreciate our format and what we're doing, or maybe you're waiting to make that really angry comment. Either way, click the big griffin up here to subscribe. The link over here to show you a related video based on what you just watched, or down here is the playlist relevant to this video. Once again, we appreciate your feedback, your comments. Join us on Facebook, Instagram, and we'll see you in the next video.